Hello everyone, my name is Rashid Loon and I'm a joint PhD student of physics at Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology, Australia and BITS Planning Goa campus. In this series of videos, I'm going to share my experience of PhD interviews at different institutes in India, and in this very particular video, I'm going to share my experience of PhD interview at IISER Mohali. So let's start. Before applying to any university or institute, you should always, go through the departmental web page to get to know about the research areas, the research projects available in that particular department, and the list of faculty members, and also the current PhD students, so that you could have some idea about the research facilities, research labs, and also the research environment. Because you are going to share, you're going to spend your 5 years in that very particular lab. So it is this decision is very crucial, and you need to be very careful about it. So coming to the IISER Mohali, I'm not sure how many students were shortlisted for the interview because they did not publish any list on the website. But they do publish it on the website at how many vacancies are available in particular session. So in this session, there were, I think, 31 vacancies available in the Department of Physics at IISER Mohali, and it's clearly mentioned that which professor is willing to take PhD students in that particular session. So it's also advisable to email the professor of your interest so that you could discuss about the research topics, what topics are available there, and also whether there is some vacancy in that particular group. So I did the same. I contacted one of the professors at IISER Mohali, and in the email you have to show your interest. Even you can send your CV also, and I got a reply back from the professor, and it was like, yes, there's a vacancy available in my group, and we can discuss on the date of interview. So once I went to IISER Mohali, it was in the offline mode. Maybe they had shortlisted 80 to 90 or 100, maybe 70, 80. I'm not sure, but this is the tentative number of students that they do shortlist. Some IITs they shortlist about 300, 200, 150. So it depends totally, how many applications are coming in that particular session. When you go to IISER Mohali, you are given an application form, a one-page form actually, and in which you have to mention about your research interests. For example, you are interested in condensed matter physics, you are interested in high energy physics, you are interested in astrophysics, quantum computation, quantum information. You can mention that, and accordingly you will be asked to go to that particular selection committee, where there will be some faculty members who will be interviewing you, but they will be from the same domain, from the same research area, right? For example, in my case, I was interested in quantum computation. So I was interviewed by that particular selection committee, and who were doing research in quantum computing, right? Or who are currently doing also research in quantum computing. So when I went inside the room where the selection committee were, there were around 3 faculty members. There were 3 faculty members, yeah. And so I was asked to first introduce myself. And after introduction, I was asked about my research interests, and after that, they asked me about my master's project. And I would say there were about 90% of my questions were from master's project. So it depends totally, it varies from university to university, institute to institute. Some institute, they don't ask anything about your project. And a few, they ask a little bit from project, a little bit from subject-wise questions. But here at IISER Mohali, I was asked mostly from, I think 90% of questions were from master's project. So I was asked to give detailed, information about that, my master's project, which was about quantum simulation of a Hamiltonian. It is related to quantum computing. Those who are familiar with it may get some idea about it. So in which I had to, simulate a Hamiltonian using a software called Qiskit. And once I told them about my project, then they asked me a few questions from quantum computing, like I was asked to draw the blocks here on the board, and also write the mathematical expressions associated with it. And also I was asked a few questions from theoretically, like what is superposition, what is entanglement, And also I was asked like basic questions from quantum computing, like qubit, what are the different platforms where we can realize qubits. I was asked questions. Also, I was asked to write some mathematical expressions related to these theoretical questions on the board. And these were the questions I was asked. And I think there were some 6 to 8 questions from this. And like other questions like what is quantum simulator and how a quantum simulator is different from the actual quantum hardware, basic difference between classical computing and quantum computing. And yeah, these were the questions I was asked. Very basic, very easy, and there was nothing like, that I could not understand, right? And then a professor asked me that what is your, favorite subject? So I told them that it is quantum mechanics. Then he asked a few questions from quantum mechanics, like very simple questions like one-dimensional, potential well, harmonic oscillator, and yeah, these kind of basic questions, very fundamental. I don't think there were any tough questions which I could not answer. And yeah, it depends. Sometimes they may ask some difficult questions, but from my experience at IISER Mohali, they asked me very easy questions. And during the interview, you get some idea that whether the selection committee is satisfied with your answers or not. So I was yeah, I got some idea that yeah, they are very satisfied with my answers, and I might get a call. And then recently I got selected at IISER Mohali. So this interview went for about 10 to 15 minutes, and 90% of questions were from my master's project. So that's all from my experience at IISER Mohali. If you have any queries, any questions, any doubts, you can ask me in the comment box, and I will try my best to answer your questions. So in the coming videos, I will also share my experience at other institutes, and I might invite a few other students who have been selected during this session of 2023, March session. So stay tuned till then. Bye.